Halloween used to be one of my family's favorite holidays. So we loved decorating the house and the yard. My dad used to really get into it. And by that, I mean he used to actually be a decoration. You see, he'd costume himself into a ghoulish scarecrow and then lay out on the lawn chair, wait for local trick-or-treaters to approach the house and scare the living shit out of them. On occasion, he also used to scare the living shit out of me. See, some of the masks he wore were so terrifying I could barely look at him. Over the years, I noticed my family slowly stopped decorating. I'm not sure if it's because my brother and I grew older or if it's because I started to see my father turn monster more often. I mean, who needs decorations when a bottle of gin can do the trick? Be the potion or the poison that transforms a hero into a horror, slur the tongue, the mind, and the body into a hunchback, red-eyed, staggering beast, bring that ghoulish scarecrow back to life on every holiday, after funerals, during celebrations, on the weekends. On any given night, alcohol would creep its way into the cracks of my father's broken and create space for itself, costume my dad into the thing that goes bump in the night. But I'm learning that my father was not born a monstrosity. He did not choose to become someone that frightens me, but somewhere between my childhood and my 30s, I lost sight of who he was beneath the scary. I blamed him for my trauma, but never considered where his came from, never wondered how terrifying his childhood may have been. The demons he was forced to face growing up, or the ones he is still fighting today, like the bottles of liquor that haunt him at night, or the abuse he tried to drink away as a teen, or the feelings of abandonment, like losing your mother as a young boy. It's easy to ignore hurt when you aren't the one holding it. When the weight isn't yours to bear, it's easy to stand tall and say someone else is staggering. For years, I thought of my father, this horror, as if he was always this terrifying, as if he wasn't created by someone or something. I wonder if dressing up as a scarecrow was a metaphor the entire time. Like maybe my dad was trying to show us how easily we can be turned into monsters and remind us we always have the choice to take off the costume. I should have taken more time to lift up my father's mask, realize that underneath it all, he is still human. He is still my dad. I should have tried harder to understand why he hides behind it instead of being afraid and naming him the boogeyman. Farmers have always used scarecrows to ward off threats, to preserve the life of their crops, and so maybe my father's costume was just his way of trying to protect us. He knows there are far more scarier things in this gruesome world than he, and despite how my dad chooses to deal with his hauntings, he will always be here to defend his family. After all, we are his seeds, his crops, and ain't it a scarecrow's job to keep them safe, to watch them grow and blossom and not care if the rest of the world is afraid?